Can you tell us a bit about what you've done today? Take us through your day. So from the moment you woke up and carrying on throughout the rest of the day.
Okay, so today I tried something new as compared to the prior day. I woke up in the morning and I made a to-do list, which
Okay.
yeah, I tried to make a to-do list, and there were 10 pointers in that, and I am very bad at doing that. I was able to complete only 3 out of them. Well, the day has not ended well, so I hope I can cover at least 5 of them at least. So yeah, I made my to-do list. I did my classes. Today I had my physics test. I appeared for the test. And after having done, I went to do my course on digital marketing, continued with doing the course, which I'm doing by Google. And then I switched on to reading books. After having read books, I took a siesta and sat down to have my, and then I woke up and then I sat down to have my iftar, which is the breaking of fast.
Okay. And what was your what was your physics test about?
Oh, today we had physics about electric field and Coulomb's law. I'm a
Okay.
12th grader. So.
And how did you do? Did you do well?
Not that good.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, hopefully you will still get a good mark. I mean, sometimes I used to come out of exams and be like, oh, I failed, and then it'd be all right. So hopefully you'll be okay. Okay, so let's have a little look at today's question. So today we are looking at what are the qualities of a good salesperson. So according to you, Ansha, what qualities can you think of that make a good salesperson?
A good salesperson should be good at manipulating, not just faking, not just faking, because it's a bad idea to fake, especially when you're working for a big firm. You should not play the manipulation game, but you should be able to convince your client to buy your product. The two major areas where I focus on while providing sales, by pitching my sales, is that why the person who has come to me should buy the product only from me and not from others. So what qualities or what services I'm going to provide to that person who is going to buy my product, what is different from others. And the second point is that I try to cover the unpopular opinion, because many a times it happens that other salesperson are not able to cover that unpopular opinion. Like, basically, I can give you an example. Like, when I went to buy a laptop, okay, we have been always buying the laptop which has hard disk in it. Now, SSD is something which is new introduced into the market, and it is very unpopular, though its servicing is very good as compared to the hard disk. So being a salesperson, I would try to pitch my ideas and try to convince why SSD is less in market, and how better services it is providing as compared to the hard disk. So yeah, convincing, manipulation, and why the person should buy the product from you, appearing as a prominent salesperson. Obviously, your outlook matters a lot here. Being a salesperson, I believe outlook matters a lot. You have a good communication skill, and that all attributes make you a good salesperson.
Okay, so now you've mentioned, there are two things I want to question you on from what you've said. The first one is manipulative. This sounds rather like a negative thing, being manipulative. It means being sneaky, and there's convincing, which has a positive like connotation to it, and then there's manipulative. How do you feel about a good salesperson having to be manipulative? Do you think a salesperson is a dishonest individual because of the fact that you need to be manipulative? How do you feel about that? Are you okay with that yourself? Are you okay with a salesperson being manipulative? Or do you want him just to be convincing and truthful rather than convincing but also manipulative?
So I believe that manipulation does play a very important role. Convincing comes, I believe, convincing comes later, but manipulation comes first. You have to attempt at being look tempting to the person. Now, I do believe that when I say the word manipulative, there are lots of negative thoughts that hail into everyone's mind. But I think that being manipulative is also important, because it's not that the salesperson is a dishonest person. No, it's not at all. But being manipulative is important, because you have to convince, because you have to take the next step through convincing. So if you don't be manipulative, I do not think that being a salesperson, you can take it to the next step of convincing.
Okay, so there's an element of being sneaky and maybe a bit of negativity with being a salesperson. There's a bit of untruthfulness that has to go about it to be a good salesperson, from what you're saying.
No, I don't think. No, it's not what I mean.
Okay, no, because you said first comes convincing, but then you also have to be a bit manipulative.
Yeah.
So if you're a bit manipulative, sometimes you are a bit,
You tend to do the
yeah, you might be a bit dishonest towards your customers by saying, for example, oh no, this is the greatest product there is.
No, there's
maybe
no
it's not.
grounds for telling lies about my product. No, you cannot
Exactly.
do that.
So maybe rather than manipulative, it's more being convincing, very
Yeah,
convincing rather than manipulative, because manipulative has a very very like nasty, sneaky sense. Like it would be what we compare. I mean, manipulative is like every evil character in Disney is manipulative, because they like to lie. And for example,
yeah.
just as an example, but that's what caught my attention when you said manipulative. I wanted to pick your brain about what you really think the good qualities are. And you also mentioned other attributes. Now, what other attributes are you thinking of?
Other attributes would encompass things like having a good communication skill. Having networking, being a salesperson, is very important. That's what I feel, because lack of networking with the correct people, your prospect clients, will cause a great loophole in selling your product. If you do not, if you are you have to focus on the target audience as well. If your age, on the particular age group, the target audience whom you're targeting to, if it's between 15 to 25, then where you can find them more. If it's it depends on what kind of product you're selling. Okay, so you have to find that. So if I have to give you an example, I would give that between 15 to 25 people, age of people, they would you will generally find them in the social media. So are you doing that social media marketing while doing that? So are you good at social media marketing as a salesperson? This is the other attribute. Also working on the outlook, how appearance and how appealing you look as a salesperson, and your communication skills. You have a good communication skills, explicitly convincing. I would be covering convincing all the time, because I feel it's very important. If you are not convincing enough to the people, you won't be able to sell the product. People will first look at you and then after your product. So and what I feel about selling a product is that the main thing is that you need to make your prospect clients realize that why they need that product. You make not their want. I mean, to make a difference between want and need. Okay, the person who has come to buy the product from you, you need to make them realize that why you need to buy this product, and how many times frequently you're using that product, and how you are in innate need of buying that product. So I think these are the other attributes which you need to excel in.
Okay, very good. No, that's a very good point you mentioned, the difference between want and need, and making people aware of that. Of this might not be what you want, but it's what you need.
Yeah.
Or it might not be what you need, but it's what you want. So it works both ways. Very good. And would you ever consider to be a salesperson?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, why?
because I feel that the job description which requires for salesperson, I think I have attained those skills, and I think I'd be, appealing enough to be a salesperson.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Lakshya, I'll move on to you now. Well done, Anshra. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lakshya, you need to unmute yourself. I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Yes,
That's
Christine.
okay. So I'd like for you to introduce yourself to everyone. Just tell us all about who Lakshya is, and yeah.
So, yeah, hi, Christine. First of all, good evening for inviting us for the second round of interview. So, hi, my name is Lakshya, and I am currently in my bachelor's. I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's degree from Odisha, and my profession is as a business developer and as a business consultant. So, from the past 3.5 years, I've been working from startups and incubators across India, majorly covering cities across like Kolkata, Bhubaneswar, Delhi, and few cities across Kerala. So
Okay. And what did you do with your day? How was your schedule?
okay, so today I had I guess it was nearly around 3 to 4 hours of prospect closing. So I'm working as a freelancer for a finance based firm. It's a startup based in Jaipur, India. So today I have a few deals that needs to be closed with with my clients, and as a fact that I need to close out of 10 at least 3 or 4. So I need to have a follow-up strategy being formed, and beyond that I need to have the script. So yeah, this is what I have been doing the whole day. I thought that it would end up with a maximum of 4 to 5 hours, but seems like I have another client call waiting uh, half an hour before.
Oh my goodness. So is your job very similar to a salesperson then?
I started my career as a sales because I was so much interested, knowing what entrepreneurs are like and what startups are like, knowing what business are like. So the very first thing that I wanted to know that how should I, enter into this ecosystem of startups, and I wanted to know what the first profession that you choose first to know what startup is. So I realized that being a salesperson, if you're able to sell the product or the services of any startup, then you're able to know how startup works, right? So this is what I've been starting from the very first year of my college. I started selling services and products of startups across my college city, that is in Odisha, and then moved on with incubators and knowing their services, and then from being a salesperson to being a business developer, and then again back to business consultant, and then back now when I'm working as a freelancer. I'm as a salesperson, majorly as a stockbroker and a technical analyst.
Okay. So you've got quite a good knowledge for this question then. I'm expecting great things. So what do you think are the qualities or the attributes of a good salesperson?
Yeah, so Christine, I believe that every product and every services, majorly every firm has a belief that they are doing the best. No issues with that. But when it comes to sales, right, the very first quality of a salesperson is to having the tonality of reading the script. My first weakness when I was in first year, I was doing sales, reading the script. It was so awful. If you would have been my first client, then you would have easily predicted that okay, Laksh is reading a script. But now I'm so much used, and understanding how important a tonality of a salesperson is. Second is knowing the buyer psychology. Even you are targeting a particular audience, but still every human has a different tend and a different mindset of buying that product or buying that service. So before you pitch, or as along you pitch, while reading your script and by making your client understanding of the product and services, I'll try to understand psychology. If he is on a one-on-one call with me, then the very first question is that I ask him or her is, why do you choose to, be on a call with us? Because they are interested, right? So the very first question that I ask them is, what made you what made you be interested in our product and services? So that's the point when I, think that, okay, this is the psychology that the buyer is, trying to achieve. Second is that the second prospect, the second point that I point out before going out for closing and the rest of strategies is that being comfortable with my own client. I make them realize that it's not that necessary that you have to think and decide on this very first meeting. So I make a culture or a mindset, you can see, that following up with my own client, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to say that, okay, I'm here to understand your product and services, and it's okay to let me know your decision a couple of days later. So following up my clients with a particular strategy, because I believe that following up is also a strategy in what a salesperson should have. So this is a brief of what I think.
Okay, so you give your clients the space,
Yeah.
and you said like delivery of that pitch is the most, one of the most important things. So your attributes are giving your client space and communication. Can you think of any other attributes that maybe you're not using at the moment, or that you know of but you've not used, or that you need to improve on? Any attributes that you can think of?
Attributes, as in, I would say that you have, like most salespeople might have come with a very common proverb that if you can sell ice to Eskimos, then you can sell anything. So no matter what, how much satisfied my client are with their own similar products or services, at the end of the day, we are salespeople, and we should have that zeal and that enthusiasm to crack that deal. And we should have been, at times it's okay to be in a rush and be aggressive. So it's okay to be an aggressive salesperson at times when required, but at also but at certain times it's also very important to let go the client and not push back, and then make them understand that following up with those clients for a longer time is also very important.
Okay, good. And same questions that I asked to Ansha now, with respect to, you obviously do this, you obviously do this job yourself. So I'm not going to ask you, would you choose it, because you've done that. But why do you feel it is the job for you?
As said earlier, that sales has been my very first explorer of my own career. If there had been some turning point in my career, it would only and only because I have chosen sales. So yeah.
Okay. No, it's just because you've chosen it. But what makes you good at it? What makes you ideal for it?
I have a certain post my first year, like it had been like a year and a half that I have been working as a sales. Then the one of my mentor told me that if you are into something, that you need to upskill yourself month by month, or after a time. So I had one of degrees, so that's why I choose for Grant Cardone courses, and his according to me, he is good in teaching sales to us.
Okay, so it's primarily because you went there, but you also enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's something that you enjoy. And what attributes do you have that make you good in sales is what I'm coming to.
As said earlier, like yesterday, I explored sales, and I'm very good at people skills. So this is
Good,
what.
that's what I want to hear.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Good. I want to hear you say, oh, it's because I'm good at that. That's what I've been trying to get you to say.
Christine, I believe that until and unless you are quite good at meeting up with people, either virtually or on a one-on-one meetup, sales doesn't matter if you're not able to communicate well and interact well, and the ability of listening, the art of listening, is very important. So it's not just that you are just pitching and pitching and pitching and not knowing your client. So it's
Very good. Excellent. Now, to the next question, the one that I nagged Ansho with, the one about manipulative and convincing. Now, coming from a salesperson, tell us, how do you feel about convincing versus manipulative?
I believe convincing should be preferred over manipulative, because if you are able to convince, that makes a salesperson. Not being manipulative is what I consider, because because as a salesperson, being manipulative is why we are being manipulative, because we want to close that deal, right? So uh, it's okay to say, it's okay to let go a client and follow up with them on certain regular interval times and not be manipulative. In case, like, if I'm pitching to you, Christine, right, and I'm being manipulative, in case you started understanding my psychology, that okay, Lakshya is being manipulative, that our product is the best, it's quite pathetic of that experiences and letting a client know. So you can't have a second time post month or 6 months, you can't have that. So being follow up with best wishes and knowing what the company is doing, and knowing, like, from the past sales that I've done, this are the the plethora that we are going through. So yeah.
Okay, so manipulative is definitely not the way to go. It's more on the convincing. Good. Okay.
As a part of my own case studies, I have came across certain clients whom I didn't close last year. So now I make them understand that that client that I've closed last year, they have progressed such a lot, and now I am I'm so confident and I'm so obvious that they are being closed now. So following up and not being manipulative is what I have experienced from my own case study.
Okay, so we've come to an agreement about being very, very convincing, but being a good listener and a good communicator, and also earning trust. You need to be trustworthy. So you definitely, manipulative is definitely not the road to visit, to go down. You don't want to go down that road. Okay. And I'd like you to do, because we've got little time left, but I'd like you to try and pitch me now. Each of you will get to pitch me just a 1-minute pitch, trying to sell me something simple that you have in front of you, whatever that might be, even if it's your clothes or your glasses.
Okay.
So who's gonna go first?
Lakshya will go first because he's the salesperson, so I'm going to throw him a bit in the deep.
Can I sell this mouse to you?
Anything.
Okay. So hi Christine, welcome to our meeting. My name is Lakshya, and we had a one-on-one conversation over text and over email. I have sent you a brief of the product, that's Flipkart wireless mouse, and you might have gone to the prospectus as I believe.
Yes, I have.
So what made you choose a wireless mouse other than the wired ones?
Well, I just thought it's more comfortable.
Okay, and what made you choose us other than other brands?
Well, you're the first brand that came up.
Good. So Christine, I would like to know that the very first thing about this mouse is the design. You have never come across such a unique design. Okay, So I have been a customer of, Flipkart since a very long, and I've known and trusted this brand since 4.5 years. And what I believe is that Flipkart is owning its customers, and Flipkart is, drawing attentions towards all its competitors. So when you choose a wireless mouse, the very first thing that comes to a customer is its design. It's very comparatively higher
Good,
than other competitors.
good.
If you choose a wireless mouse of HP or Dell or someone, its design is unique. And
Well done.
second, you can see the silver plating and the scroller. It's unique. And
Okay,
again, uh,
good, Lakshya. Good. That's your 1 minute. Now let's try Anshra. Go for it.
So I'm having a book. So here I go.
Go.
So Christine, I want to ask you first, do you read or not? Are you fond
Yes,
of
I
reading?
do.
You
Yes,
do.
I am.
So let me tell you something. According to a study, 55% of people read fiction. And you know why? Because fiction has encompassed reality along with the facts. Okay, so let me bring to you the most beautiful book of all time. It's called The Color Purple by Alice Walker. It's a hardcover copy. The book does not cost too much. It's just 399 INR. The best part about the book is that when you start reading it, you will realize the book. First of all, the book covers a story of the American slaves and the Black Americans' appetite. So it's convincing enough. And I want to ask you that since you have come to us, why you choose us, not somebody else?
I just happened to walk into the store. I don't know.
Then I would like to tell you that you have walked into the very right place, because along with this, we are providing some bonuses. We have a group sessions where we have book discussions, and if you buy this book, we are going to end up getting that bonuses. The book is definitely about a girl whose name is Celie, and the best part about the book is that it has won the Pulitzer Prize. So it's the most prestigious prize in the world of
Okay.
literature, and
Well done.
I'm sure you're going to enjoy the book.
Well done, guys. Okay, so this is something I'm sure Vishal will enjoy looking at as well afterwards. Just a little tiny exercise, just to see you using any of these attributes that we've mentioned. Since we had a tiny bit of time left, I thought it'd be interesting. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the session today, and thank you very much for your time, guys. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye,
Thank you
guys.
Thank you so much.